Choosing the perfect gift for people at the holidays can be hard in itself and can even be more challenging if those people are traveling full time.
In this video, we've pulled together a list of 12 different ideas that are going to fit most people's traveling lifestyle. So we hope you find this helpful.
The first one on the list is really for people traveling within the United States, and that is in America, the Beautiful Pass. This pass lets you get into all national parks for the price of just the pass, which is about $80 to $100, I believe. It changes every year by a little bit. This ends up saving a ton of money because otherwise to get into a national park for a week is about $30, and you have to pay for a week in full. You can't buy just like one day for $5. So if you go to 2 to 3 national parks in a year, this already pays for itself.
This also covers up to 4 people in the vehicle, so you don't need to get one for both parties. We also noticed that we stayed a lot of times outside of the national parks, so every time you drive in and out of one, they're asking for a pass, and if you're going to be there over a week, this can really add up. Something to keep in mind is these can take about 2 to 3 weeks to deliver, so make sure that whether you're RVing yourself and looking to buy one for you personally, or if you're getting one for someone else, this will take a little bit of lead time there. Our next one is kind of a broad version of experiences. And one of the reasons we put this so high on the list was because whenever you're traveling, the goal is not just to see beautiful places, but also to really get to enjoy them, to really experience the actual culture of the area or the particular fun activities are to do there. So this could be something like whitewater rafting, ziplining, or
for those of you who are less extreme, wildlife tours or city tours, food tours, brewery tours we've seen have been really popular. It really just depends on wherever these people are traveling, what they're doing, and what their preferences are. This can be used in many different ways, or you can use it for the same thing at every single location. Number 3 on the list of good traveling gifts is going to be traveling guides, and this is kind of also a broader term. It can be like a traveling guide book, like the Rick Steves books we know are super popular. I'm sure there are electronic versions of them now. We also have this app called Shaka Guys, which someone gave us for a gift, which we have used at multiple national parks, and it has been really awesome. It basically has a GPS map of the park, and you drive around, and when you hit certain locations, it gives you a little audio tour of it.
And those are the ones that we're most familiar with. We also have other RV books we've referenced before that we really love. Cooper can link them below. But either way, this is just a really helpful gift. Something I will mention is if they've RV'd for a while, maybe they already have one that covers all of the US as far as a travel book, but perhaps they're headed to a state they haven't been to before, or maybe they're going up into Canada this year, thinking kind of outside of the box, getting something that's a little more specific. The broad ones they might already be more familiar with, but the ones that are specifically related to Idaho, for instance, might be something that would be really useful for them. The next one is gift cards, and obviously this is kind of a go-to for people who don't know what to get anybody throughout any particular traveling circumstance, but they are actually extremely helpful for people who are traveling full-time, because the reality is you just don't have a lot of space. And gift cards are always, easy to tuck away, easy to use. You can go get what it is that you need, whether that's something really fun or something very practical. So as much as it might seem a little bit like a cop-out, for most people, it's actually extremely useful for full-time travelers.
And gift cards work really well for all different kinds of full-time traveling. We're in an RV, we definitely would benefit from gift cards, but probably not as much as someone who's living in a van who has even less storage, or people who are just backpacking and flying around everywhere. The less storage they have, the more valuable those gift cards are going to be, because they pretty much are buying all their meals right away. Whereas we can buy kind of in bulk and cook along the way. People who are traveling with less space than us are buying more frequently, so they will appreciate the gift card more. Number 5 on our list is going to be a Harvest Host membership. If you are not new to our channel, this is probably not a surprise to you. We love Harvest Host. They are our overall favorite places to stay, even better than some state and national parks we've been at. The experiences you get at a Harvest Host really just can't be matched, because every single one is unique and different. They're all over the country. You get a wide variety of views, you get a wide variety of things to do, and you just meet a ton of people doing it.
As with this and all the other memberships we'll mention later, obviously you need to make sure they don't already have this membership.
Yes.
But if it's something that they are not familiar with or have been considering, definitely would recommend.
Or if they have one of the first plans, upgrading them to, say, the second or third plan, you get a little more variety of stays would be also helpful.
The next one we recommend is either art from places that they visited if they have a lot of wall space, but obviously that can kind of be a hot commodity in an RV. So our kind of creative alternative to that would be a digital frame where they can add photos that they've taken along their way. You don't always have electricity, but a lot of RVers get electricity at least every now and again, and it's something they could see and kind of reflect on and enjoy all the places they've been without having to take up that valuable wall areas.
We're including the art because art is just simply better when you have been to an area and you've seen the history or the culture from the area. You just appreciate it more. Number 7 on the list today is going to be small outdoor decorative items. Emphasis on small because, like we've said before, you just simply don't have a lot of space inside or out of an RV. However, when you are parked somewhere, you have the whole outdoors to put everything. So these decorative items could be like doormats with like specific names or something on it, or flags.
So that's definitely something we recommend. Like I said, we've seen those other places, but like he mentioned, whenever he says flags, he means small. So assume everything should be small throughout this whole video.
Next one on the list kind of comes with a little asterisk, a little caveat there. It is going to be replacement cooking or kitchen items, emphasis on replacement. And we're putting a big emphasis on this because, like we've said 7 times already, space is a hot commodity, so don't go out and get them, say, a pressure cooker because you think it'd be really helpful. They may not have any space to put a pressure cooker. However, if they have, say, pots and pans that are old and rusting or just have the non-stick that aren't working very well, and they bring that up, get them replacement ones so they can get rid of something and replace it with something new and better.
And following that up, we're going to talk about the outdoor replacement items. So the exact same theory is that things that they maybe already own that are breaking. Maybe their outdoor chairs are starting to get holes, or their grill is starting to break down. Things like that that they are already looking for, they already know they have space for, and they just need something new, a little bit of a refresher there. The next one we were going to mention, if they don't already have this membership, is going to be the Good Sam's Club. This is just really useful in the sense of, A, you can get discounts at Camping World, things like that, but honestly, the thing it's most useful for is towing, any sort of roadside assistance. This is going to be really specific for RVs that actually be able to tow you or help you, different things like that, whereas different other memberships like AAA don't really work on RVs at all. So if this isn't something that they have or are familiar with, we definitely would recommend this just as a safety precaution.
It's one of those gifts you hope they never have to use, and if they do need to use it, it'll be the best gift they receive all year.
But like we said, check and make sure that they don't already have that before you purchase.
Second last gift on our list today is going to be Audible memberships or other membership that person just uses a lot and would be really helpful. I'm bringing up Audible specifically because books can be hard to get new ones, and they just take up a lot of space and can add extra weight and can kind of be cumbersome once you get, more than like 4 or 5 books really in an RV or van or small traveling lifestyle. Or if the person listens to a ton of podcasts from a certain app or watches a ton of movies that they like to download, whatever subscription service that they use a lot would just be very appreciated, I'm sure, in their eyes.
And lastly on the list, we have small tools and various other items. We put this at the end because this is honestly one of the most useful, but also like not the most exciting of gifts. But if you're looking for stocking stuffers, things like that, this could be a good place to go. So things like zip ties, small eye hooks. I don't know what else you would need.
Bungee cord, duct tape, Flex Seal, paint repair kits if they're starting to like rust a little bit on their vehicle, or like pressure gauge or something like that. Tools that they maybe need that they don't know they need yet, or that they need and haven't been able to get, would just be really helpful.
Or just things that you sort of always should have in your back pocket.
Because in an RV, when you're traveling full time, things break. And a lot of times they break in the middle of nowhere when you can't go get help. So you need to hold it together with duct tape or bungee cords or zip ties until you can get it somewhere and get it replaced. Well, we hope this was helpful. Like we said, each one of these is kind of applicable to different traveling lifestyles. We're not saying that all 12 of these ideas are going to be a perfect fit for everybody,
right? But
hopefully it kind of starts your brainstorming and can get you thinking of gifts that are a little more practical for people who are traveling full time and don't have as much space as someone who's living in a house. Everything that we also talked about today, I'll link below, everything that we can at least, so be sure to check that out.
Enjoy your shopping adventure and Merry Christmas.